Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Zero Bytes podcast. I know it's been a while. Sorry, I had some stuff. Jesse had some stuff to take care of. We both had things.
Steve, you
So
know we had Thanksgiving over here in the States, and that
yeah,
food
there was
was so real.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, there was Thanksgiving for you guys, and there was a virtual Thanksgiving for us. We were just celebrating with you guys. So I had
Although,
turkey. I had turkey twice.
sure, yeah, I would say more correctly that we eat for Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate for Thanksgiving.
True that. We
You
ate.
know, not to get too political, but I could say that Melissa and I definitely don't find it a day to celebrate.
Well, we don't celebrate either a lot of things, but this time my dad
You
decided
know,
to my dad decided to say to celebrate with you guys. It was like, hey, they're
yeah,
having Thanksgiving. Why can't
let's
we?
do it. Yeah, there you go.
So,
Everybody can have turkey.
yeah, we had turkey twice on Sunday and on actual Thanksgiving day.
Yeah, we had turkey, but we didn't have it until after Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And we didn't have it in the traditional way either.
How do you guys? I always had this on my mind. How do you guys actually cook your turkeys on Thanksgiving?
Traditionally, most American households, what they'll do is put the turkey in a brine. The
Okay,
whole entire turkey goes in a brine, like a
okay,
big giant container just full of salt and spices and water
yeah, same.
for a few days.
For a few days.
Possible from anywhere from 1 to 3 days is what most
What do you
people.
make the actual sauce out of? Sorry, guys. I know this is
Uh,
a zero. This is a Linux podcast, but we tend to talk about casual stuff from time to time. It was Thanksgiving.
Right, and feel free, go in your package manager of choice and just look for turkey. I hope
Yeah,
that nobody installs something called turkey on their
yeah.
box.
But what do you
But
make?
okay, so what you do, there's not usually a sauce in the way that you might be thinking, and I'll
I
get to
mean,
that in
what
a
do
minute.
you douse it in? The way we
Oh,
do it is we put
well,
it.
here it's, are you thinking like yogurt marinades and stuff like
Oh
that?
no, no. The way we
No.
do it is we take a whole uh, uh, container. We put the turkey in. We douse it in beer.
Beer is a good choice.
Yeah, beer, carrots, pine, because we have a lot of pine.
Juniper?
Pine. It's pine seed.
Okay.
Pine seeds.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't think I've ever seen that. Unless you're thinking of, do you call, we have something called pine nuts, like we'll use for pesto.
the white thing, the small white thing, we call it
Yeah,
pine seed.
I
Pine
think we
seeds.
call them pine nuts. It's
Yeah,
probably the same thing.
yeah. So we put those, and we put some oil, salt, and that's it. Oh,
Okay.
and
No, it's much more involved, especially if I do it. What we'll do is, if we're using a brine, it's usually simple at that stage. All we're really trying to do is salt the turkey from that. So
oh,
we put it water, salt, sugar, maybe some spices, some cloves, some things like that.
cloves. We add cloves too. Yeah.
So, and it'll sit in that brine for anywhere from a few hours to a few days.
Mm.
If it's going to be a few days, it's common to both add ice and change the water and ice to keep the turkey from warming up.
Yeah.
But I stopped doing all that a year or two ago, because we
Okay.
have a practice that we call spatchcock, where you basically butterfly the turkey.
What does butterfly mean?
Uh, think of the wings of a butterfly, and what you do is you cut along both sides of the spine, and you
Yeah.
take the spine out. Then you
Okay.
flip it over and press down so that the turkey is sort of
Almost
opened
flat.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happens is it roasts faster and it roasts more evenly.
Oh, that's a nice idea. I should tell my dad.
But to season it, we make pockets underneath of the skin, and you season butter or oil, and you put it underneath the skin so that it doesn't burn in the oven, so that it doesn't just dry to the skin. It stays between the skin and the meat.
Oh, we do something similar like that, but instead of putting what you put, we put ghee.
Okay.
We
And
put
then you season the ghee.
Yeah, and we put cinnamon and cinnamon powder,
Okay.
of course,
Right.
and pepper, different kinds of peppers,
Hmm.
and we leave it there for 24 hours to 48 hours
Okay.
for it to drink the whole beer and everything. And then
Sure, sure.
on the side, sometimes, not all the time, we do it differently each time. But this time, what we did was on the side we did rice, pine nuts, and dried grapes.
Okay. Hold
That
on.
was
Let me adjust. One of my lights is being a little weird. There we
so
go.
it was delicious. And for some reason, my dad decided to do another thing on the side was fish. I'm
Oh,
like,
fish is wonderful all the time.
turkey and fish at the same time. I'm like,
Well,
uh,
well, I mean, I'm sure. What do we normally do? Normally, if we have more than one meat, it'll be a turkey. It'll be ham.
oh,
Ham is very common.
love
Um,
ham. Love me some ham.
sometimes we'll have Polish kielbasa with sauerkraut as a side dish.
Yeah.
So it's another meat there. Sometimes we'll have
Oh, the types of meat we have around the turkey is different sausages
yes, sausages are great.
and more turkey
Especially if you
ham.
put it. Do you do stuffing inside the turkey?
Yes, my dad usually puts a couple of apples
Mm.
to season it.
Yeah, oranges are good if you can get them
Oh,
too.
that's the other thing I forgot. With the beer, we include orange juice in.
Yes,
We
beer
put
and orange juice is great.
It's amazing. It makes the turkey become reddish and so
Yeah,
sweet and sour. It's amazing.
I
And
know.
some people say
Sometimes here
beer is the secret ingredient.
it's very good. Let's see, what else do we have? Sometimes people will take the entire turkey and put it in a giant drum on top of a fire and deep fry the whole thing, just
Oh
the
yeah.
entire bird, and they just lower it into a barrel full of oil and fry the entire
This
turkey.
is the second way we do it. This is
Okay.
the second way
I've
we do it.
eaten it that way. I've never prepared it that way.
There's another way where we, I don't know how you call it. We take like a paintbrush looking thing
Mhm.
and we douse it in sweet and sour sauce, and we
Okay.
paint. The sweet and sour sauce has eggs in it as well. Uh,
Sure. Yeah. It
the,
probably gets very crispy.
the skin becomes succulent. It becomes something. Ah, I love it. I enjoyed it because we had so many people over. We had 13 people over. The doctor, the small town doctor, family doctor. He's our
Sure.
doctor, or the whole town's doctor. Uh, he's in a
Uh,
wheelchair. He got shot during the war in his spine, and now he's in a wheelchair.
well,
Uh,
that's unfortunate.
he was 17 when he got shot. Uh, but we had his entire family, his wife, both his sisters, their families, and everything. It was the best gathering I've ever had in so long. So I was like, so that's how it feels like to celebrate Thanksgiving. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
lucky Americans, we don't have
Yeah.
that. We only have
Okay, guys.
Christmas.
Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere that lets you leave comments, tell us what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish if you celebrate. What's your favorite family gathering food? Uh,
My favorite gathering myself personally is Christmas, because that's the only time I get to have one of the most delicious things I ever had in my life. It's
what's your Christmas dish?
it's not a dish. It's a pre-dish, what you eat before you have the main dish, the appetizer.
Okay.
The appetizer.
You speak French, right? Do I remember that correctly?
Yes,
Does this count as a amuse-bouche?
yes.
Okay. What is it?
C'est un amuse-bouche. What it is a smoked salmon on a crispy toast.
So it's a fish paste, the salmon paste.
No, it's smoked salmon. The slices of salmon, smoked
Oh,
salmon.
like you would put like Nova
Like
lox on a bagel.
Yeah, like it's like
Okay.
ham. It's the same as ham,
Okay.
but it's
Yeah,
salmon.
I don't tend to like that kind of fish, but
It's
it
raw.
sounds like
It's
you do.
raw. It's smoked raw salmon
Okay.
with a little bit of butter on top,
Huh.
lemon juice,
That
and
sounds very rich.
yeah, and the secret ingredient is pure Russian caviar on top. The black
Caviar. Okay, that's why it's for Christmas. That's you're so fancy, Steve. You're so fancy.
Yeah, but
I
I'm not
can't
talking.
believe you have me on your podcast and you eat caviar. You're so fancy.
I'm not talking about the expensive caviar. The stuff you get for like $5, $10, the small containers, the circular
I don't
containers.
think I know about this stuff. You'll have to tell me. I didn't know there was. I did not know that there was inexpensive caviar.
There is.
Now I know.
In Ireland, I used to buy a lot of them. They were for €2, €3, but they weren't fancy. But the fancy stuff is like $50 for maybe 30, 40 grams worth.
Okay.
But it's smoked salmon on a piece of toast with a little bit of butter, just a little bit. I forgot another ingredient: pepper, and
Yes.
then lemon juice, and then the secret, the best ingredient of them all, the caviar.
Of
And
course.
since we're coming to Christmas, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
This is and
Christmas.
we don't
Christmas
have
has
it
a
in.
lot of things coming.
Yeah, so we don't have it in quantities. We just have
Sure.
2 slices each. That's it, and we forget it for the next year.
It's a treat. I get it.
Yeah, and this is my favorite. My favorite, and since we all gather and we sing the "Oh Holy Night" and stuff like that.
Right. All the traditional Christmas songs. Sure.
All the traditional Christmas songs, and then we gather towards the end of the evening. We sit down, we watch a Christmas movie. None of those Christmas horror movies or any of that. Just the regular
horror movies.
Yeah, there are.
Wait,
There are a lot of
Wait a minute. Now it's time for a very, very important question.
What?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Very hard question to answer. We do watch it from time to time, like every 2, 3 Christmases we watch one.
Okay.
But our favorite.
I've heard there's. I'm sure you've seen all the arguments. You're a bigger movie buff than me, but this was a great time to bring that up.
Yeah,
what do you guys think in the comments? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I consider it a Christmas movie because it happens on Christmas. So
right.
And but my favorite Christmas movie to watch is Christmas on 34th Street.
You know, that's my mother's favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's very old and classic. It's a never-ending classic. It will remain in history as one of the nicest movies. It doesn't have people killing Santa Claus or technology or whatever. None of that crap. It's very down to earth. It's just a little kid. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful classic, black and white.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't like the Christmas movies that they make today, like the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Excuse me. Now a normal human being is suddenly Papa Claus, and he swears every moment he gets. And
are you talking about the Santa Claus with Tim Allen? That whole series?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about A Christmas Story? Everybody loves Ralphie.
I don't know which one you're. I don't remember
Uh,
Christmas.
the one with the kid, the little kid who wants the BB gun, and they tell him he's going to shoot his eye out.
Oh no, I don't know that.
Oh, that's such a classic. I'll have to tell you. But,
uh,
instead of Christmas movies, I wanna see if I can get you to talk about this Christmas. Will you talk about this Christmas
in
on
what
the
way?
podcast?
This Christmas?
Yes.
Well, this Christmas we don't know what's going to happen yet. We haven't put the tree up yet. this
No,
this Christmas there
w
will be for the community out there if they really want to know. This Christmas there will be something coming out for Zero under the XeroLinux banner. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else to talk about.
can can we give a hint? Even just a little hint, a Christmas miracle?
Yeah, Gnome Edition is coming back. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh!
Yeah.
I've been pestering Steve to try GNOME and give GNOME a chance for how long have I been talking about GNOME on XeroLinux?
Well, quite a while. Quite a while. No, but I have to warn the people though.
Yeah, it's not a cure-all. If you don't like KDE, it's not a cure-all.
It's not a cure-all. That's the reason why the GNOME edition of XeroLinux will only come with 4 extensions only. The dash to dock everybody loves. Blur My Shell everybody installs as soon as they install GNOME. Alur's Widgets, which is something to look out for. It's an amazing extension, and it's only a month old.
Okay.
And the Arch update notifier in the system tray.
Okay. And
And that's it.
so XeroLinux Hello does not come on
No,
that, correct?
no.
The tool we've all come to know and love and put down
Unfortunately, I need to mention
our
something.
terminal typings.
No, but here's the situation with the whole Zero Hello thing. It's currently up in the air because unfortunately the developer who created the Zero Hello is leaving me high and dry.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've been asking for a small little update for the past month, and I have yet to see him do anything. He keeps pushing me away. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about the developer himself. Maybe
Sounds like maybe he's got some stuff going on.
maybe I cannot say anything because he hasn't given any hints. But all I know is the tool is currently. I cannot. Here's the problem. The release of XeroLinux KDE will be tied to the tool. If the tool doesn't get updated, I have to postpone it until the tool is.
Right.
Because one of the major changes in the upcoming release of XeroLinux is the fact that we removed MHWD, the Manjaro automatic driver detection.
Yes.
Yeah,
No more
it was causing a lot of
no more
issues.
NVIDIA breakages.
Yeah.
Please and thank you. You know how I feel about
Yeah.
what MHWD did to X.org.
Every time you unplug the monitor from your computer and plug it back in, you have to reset the settings and all that. Yeah, because now this.
I forgot. I forgot the other day. I do you remember when I killed my production machine because I saved xorg.com
Yeah.
without renaming?
Yeah.
So I couldn't get back in and it would just kernel panic on boot. I
Yeah.
couldn't do anything.
Yeah. So because of that, we had to, and plus it's not my project. I just took it. I mentioned it by passing by to the Manjaro team. They were like, "We can't help you because you're not using it as is. You're using a fork of it." So I was like,
I mean, valid, but hey.
I tried to use it, but I failed. So, well, not I failed. It failed me. So I decided to go back to regular old install scripts that will just sudo pacman the drivers.
Sure. Nothing
But
wrong with that. And Melissa's doing great on XeroLinux herself.
yeah,
Zero has
cool.
no strikes. I don't remember. Do you remember she said she was given 3 strikes? Zero currently has no strikes.
Cool. But yeah, so since the tool has in the driver page in the tool currently revolves around MHWD, I need the developer to remove and to convert it into my scripts, my driver install scripts, and he has done.
Are you going to make it able to work with both KDE and GNOME if you're doing that?
I want to, but since the developer has so much things on his plate and cannot update it as whenever I ask for an update.
Sure.
I just posted on Mastodon and on Twitter my request for someone to help me create a newer version of the welcome tool that I can modify easier, because the current one is written in Rust, and Rust is not easy for someone who doesn't understand code. So, and every time I ask the current developer of the current Hello to teach me how to do things, I ask him, is it possible to tell me how to change to let it launch a script rather than a command, because I want to change it from MHWD to a script? He keeps telling me, no, impossible. So what am I to do? I'm attached to this tool. XeroLinux is attached to this tool. So if he delays, I delay. And I don't want to delay any longer than the 15th. People have been waiting for 3 months. So
right.
I don't know what to do. So I'm crying out now on Twitter, asking for people to help, but unfortunately no one has replied. I got someone who will look into it this week.
Sorry. I don't know if this will make it into the video. There's a blaring siren outside.
Yeah, I heard it. Who committed the crime?
Don't tell on me, Steve. Come on. You're supposed to be my friend. No snitching.
Yeah, no snitching. Bitches are snitches. Snitchers are bitches, or something like that. But
oh boy. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So I don't want to delay more than the 15th. They've been waiting for 3 months. But sure. if I have no other choice, what can I do? Maybe maybe I'll release both on Christmas. Who knows?
There you go. And I got my trusty stainless steel distro drive just waiting.
Ventoy.
No Ventoy. I have never used Ventoy for one of your distros. They always get their own disk, and it's this one.
Oh, it's stainless steel too.
Yes. It has a little. It flips out almost like a switchblade.
Yeah. I had one of those. It was one side USB-C, the other side USB.
I wish USB-C was a little sturdier. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, it's very flimsy. When I attach it to my MacBook Pro, it always ejects for some reason.
Yeah, see, it's always the right here.
Yeah.
And it just...
Yeah, I broke so many. They're very sensitive. But to get back to what Christmas gift, it's XeroLinux GNOME, like I said, but I need to clarify one thing. And we talked about it off the air, but I need to clarify.
Full disclosure is good, so yeah, thank you for spilling the beans. I didn't think I'd get you to crack on the podcast, but thank you.
It's been going around, but there's another thing I need to show the users.
Sure. You showing them how, or?
No, I'm showing them this. Why am I charging for FOSS stuff?
Okay. Yeah, yes. Let's get that right out of the way.
I just need to explain. I'm not gonna be angry. I'm not gonna talk shit, but I just need to get this out there before it becomes toxic, because I know there's a lot of poisonous people out there. Yes, I will be charging for Zero-G, the GNOME edition, but not the code. The code, as I'm showing the users right now, is free of charge. It's on my GitHub. The video guide is coming soon. It's already done, but it's not public yet. But it's a 3-step process. You can build it for free if you really want. I don't expect everyone to be able to contribute to the project. Whoever cannot, they have the option, the code is there, free of charge. You can build the ISO yourselves. Just step 1, 2, and 3. 3 commands to type in the terminal, and you got yourselves an ISO. It takes some time, and I have to point out that they have to be on an Arch-based distro to be able to do that. So, but there are a few Arch ISOs that won't be supported, like Manjaro. It's not Arch. CachyOS, they use Arch v3 repositories, which can cause issues. KOS is not an Arch-based distro. It's its own separate thing.
Right.
And Artix does not even use systemd. So in addition to the fact that they don't use Arch repositories. So those 4 those 4 distros cannot be used to build XeroLinux. They're gonna cause issues. Otherwise, like I showed in the video that will be posted soon, I built the Zero-G ISO on EndeavourOS.
Why did you do that instead of building it on Xero?
To show the people that it's possible to do it on non-XeroLinux distros. Not everybody has to be on. Some people are coming from a different distro to try XeroLinux. So if you are on any Arch-based distro other than these 4 that you wanna, and then you decide you wanna build XeroLinux, you can. The tool.
What about our Windows friends? Can you use something like say Balena Etcher? Will it build that way?
No, Etcher is.
How would you do it on Windows?
No, building the ISO is not like flashing it on a USB.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, but you can build it on Windows if you just boot. And this is a good question. You can boot any Arch-based distro. You can boot even XeroLinux. You can download the KDE version of XeroLinux. You can download EndeavourOS, whatever Arch distro besides these 4. You boot into the live environment in a VM, in VMware or whatever, or VirtualBox, whatever virtual machine you use. You boot into the live environment, build the ISO in the live environment. You don't have to install the distro.
Does the live environment for Xero contain all the necessary tools to do the build?
So if they use XeroLinux, they boot into XeroLinux and they build on that. They don't need to add the extra Valen repository. It's already on the ISO.
Cool. Nice.
But if they are on a non-XeroLinux distro, they have to add this repo to pacman.com. The step is there in the guide.
Cool.
It just takes 2 seconds, but they can do it on Windows. Just they do it in a virtual machine, which will take longer to build because a virtual machine is not the host.
Right. It's not bare metal.
Yeah. So, and in the video that I made about showing the people how to build the ISO, I did it on a virtual machine, KVM, on EndeavourOS to show the people that it can be done on other than XeroLinux.
Very cool.
So, and it worked without issues at all. Besides my connection issues, my connection crapping out because I did it after my
Your connection's better today. I think we timed the recording better.
Yeah. Don't be so positive because it's almost 6:30. At 6:30, it's gone.
Okay. How long do we have? We have 45 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's easy to build XeroLinux for free. I'm not hiding it behind a paywall or anything. But I want to talk about this situation in general, putting something behind a paywall. So, some people get angry when maintainers like myself put something behind a paywall. They start yelling and screaming on the top of their lungs, this is not FOSS, this is not right, this is not allowed. What do you think?
I think that there's a misunderstanding that there is no cost for the development of free software. That cost has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's the developer, whether it's the user, whether it's both, whether it's a community or a grant. Even.
Look at
there is
yeah.
to use something that gets tossed around and spoken around, with our uh, how do I say this? I don't want to be political, but people that are very pro-military here in the States love to say that freedom always has a price. And I think that applies to freedom in any form, like free software,
Yeah.
freedom, anything that gives freedom does have a cost.
Yeah. So, like someone said on my Discord server, the FOSS world is currently full of consumers who do not truly understand FOSS or the nuances. It has always been maintained that the source code and distribution would follow a certain category of ideology. However, the
Right.
movement,
And
yeah,
you do provide the source code itself for free, as
exactly,
you just got done saying.
yeah. However, the movement chose to not define anything about the time, effort, and support model for the ones creating the code. So yeah,
Right.
we as maintainers, we're not considered. We're like, yeah, he put something for free, and it should always be free. There are people that are in my current situation.
Mm.
Like I am from Lebanon, as everybody knows, and if you bother to take 2 seconds to look at the news and see what's happening in my country, you would then reshape your thoughts, because currently we don't have power, we don't got water, we're running on generator almost all the time, and we have a lot of other issues. I'm not going to go into the political side of things,
Right.
but we are suffering over here, and I don't. XeroLinux is my escape.
Yeah, and Steve, it's really one of the best tools that I use on the daily basis. Like,
And I did it for myself and for the users, because I saw other users that are like myself, that want something that just works, and sometimes it takes a little bit more effort to get it to work, because this is the nature of Linux, and especially
sure.
rolling releases. Uh, but sometimes I go out of my way, like stay up until 2 a.m. to support somebody who, in the States, it's maybe 5 in the afternoon for them, so they want help with this or that. I try to help them as much as I can, but all that is taking a lot of time out of my day. And I'm doing all this for free, but I cannot do it anymore. I don't have a job. I'm closing the store because I'm getting 3 customers a year.
I'm
So,
sorry.
yeah,
Are
well,
you? I think you might. I hope you're exaggerating a little bit.
no, not at all. I ended up opening all the products that I have in the store, and I'm using them myself. That's how bad it is.
Ah,
Yeah. So, because people expect a router to cost $5. When I tell them it costs $70, they almost look at me as if they want to spit at me. But I'm closing the store. I need to monetize. I need some income. Thank the Lord, I have family contributing to our livelihood. But I'm 43 years old. I cannot keep relying on them. They're my younger siblings. So not going to rely on them for life. So I need to become independent and start monetizing my own project, my baby, because for now that's the only thing I know how to do. Other than that is sales, but sales pays peanuts. So especially in the current situation. So I'm trying to monetize XeroLinux one way or the other. For now, this is the only way I know of.
right.
In 2000 next year, I'm going to start working on creating merchandise for people who want to support the cause, buying a T-shirt.
Wait a minute. I get T-shirts.
Yeah, T-shirts,
Okay.
mugs,
All right.
water
Then.
bottles.
Okay. So I
Not a
think what we're gonna have
screwdriver,
to
but
do. Okay. What about a sonic screwdriver?
what is a sonic screwdriver?
Oh no! You might want to edit this out.
I don't know what a sonic screwdriver is.
Yeah, you might want to edit that bit out. The sonic screwdriver is Doctor Who's like primary tool that he uses for a lot of things.
Oh yeah, my best friend, one of my best friends in the UK, he does
Yeah, the nerd community will come for you, my friend.
role
You
playing.
might want to
They do
you might
role.
want to edit this out of the final podcast.
No need, no need. I just didn't know it by name, but I know what it is.
Okay. Okay. All right. You're not a big old Doctor Who fan. I get it.
No. But my one of my best friends who I've known for 17 years, he does role playing Doctor Who. They have a gathering and they do Doctor Who. But yeah, sonic screwdriver, no. But we will have. I'll try first T-shirts, see how it goes, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I will monetize differently. Maybe at this point, the ISO, all future ISOs will be made available for free. But I need to get a little bit money in. I committed a sin.
Steve.
Yeah, please forgive me, people. Please forgive me. I subscribe to Google AdSense. You might see ads on XeroLinux website now.
Oh no.
Well, I had to.
How much of my soul do you have in your
Google,
AdSense
not me.
account now?
Google, not me. Me, innocent. Google is to blame. But I had to because I need to make money, dude. I cannot.
Yeah,
People, I need to
it.
make money somehow. So yeah, it's
Okay.
well.
Maybe
If you
we
were,
can trade T-shirts when your T-shirts come out. We'll trade. I'll send you a box of Snack Ops unit stuff, and you send me a box of XeroLinux stuff.
And there's another thing I didn't say. By joining the $25 tier on Patreon, because people think I'm charging them monthly for a single ISO. No, I'm not, because that $25 tier doesn't only give you access to the XeroLinux GNOME edition ISO, it gives you access to any future ISOs, side project ISOs that I work on, plus discount on the merch, plus other things. It's the platinum tier. Platinum tier means...
So wait, are we going to have Zero Pi?
Zero what?
Zero Pi. Zero for the Raspberry Pi?
I know. Oh, when you said Pi, it might happen if I get someone to teach me how. And I know someone, but he's currently working on his own release. Once he's done, maybe he'll help.
Right.
He'll help. But that's all in the future. But for the near future, the $25 tier is a platinum tier. You get discounts on the merch. You get all future project access to all future ISOs. You get whatever I can cram into that tier, I will cram. But this is the highest tier. There is no higher than that. I'm not going to ask for $64, $100, $150. No, $25.
So $25 a month.
Yeah.
But you're not going to fly to my house and personally fix my computer. That's ridiculous.
Oh. Well, I want to go there. Who knows? If I don't find a job over here, I might go to the States.
I get it. No, I get it. But I mean, these are the kind I'm hearing, guys. Some of the things that Steve hears are on the level with, I'm joking, but I've heard some things.
No, but
Steve, I've heard, you've told me some of these, some of the requests you've gotten.
Yeah.
And we won't, we certainly don't want to air what those specific requests are. People deserve their privacy, but some of you guys need to sit down.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
we love you. Please sit down. Go get a hug.
But to summarize all this is, I put it in summary. I summarized it. I summarized it. I'm gonna read it out because it's a two-liner. If you just want the ISO, join my Patreon, details below, or help spread the word about XeroLinux by talking about it, or help test, send detailed feedback, troubleshoot, or otherwise help contribute towards my project and vision. There's many ways you can.
It's a great project. It's so good. Just download it, try it. If you like it, please talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to read the whole entire README here, but you can go to my the links will be in the podcast show notes. But you can go over it and read it, give it a read. It's not very long. It looks long because the narrow space, but it's not. It just I even used examples of 9 to 5 jobs to clarify it to people, because I feel that's comparing it to real world things would make people understand better.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And I have to thank someone before I go any further for this text. I need to thank Eric for pointing me to Archcraft's version. Archcraft are doing the same thing. Archcraft are selling their code. They're selling actual code or configuration files, not code. Configuration files to get one of their WM versions built. So
Nice.
He's the one who wrote this. I just used his as a template, and I optimized it to work for XeroLinux. I'm not the one who wrote all of it, and that example to the real world, he wrote it. I just optimized it for realistic in my case. Like in my case, I have to pay taxes for every donation I get. Since my bank account is in Ireland, I have to pay 23% tax on top of what the service I use takes. So when I, let's say, for example, I sold 20, people decided to pay for it, $25. I get $500, but actually what I get is $275. So
That's no fun.
Yeah. So if you compare it to a regular person working a 9 to 5 job, 8 hours a day for $15 an hour, they get $840. I'm not even getting half of that. So, and I'm putting in way more hours than a regular 9 to 5 job. I'm putting 24 hours because people don't understand how long it takes to do research. Like they come, they say, hey, Zero, why don't you make a WM version of XeroLinux? Oh yeah, like I'm going to spit one out in 5 minutes and call it a day. I don't use window manager, so I have to do a lot of research, a lot of building, a lot of testing, a lot of sleepless nights to get because this configuration is not working. I need to get to the bottom of it. I need to ask people around. I have to spend hours and hours and days and weeks to understand the thing they want just to be able to build it for them. Where's the money?
Right.
Where's the money?
Of course.
So if I ask, I'm going to talk to the users right now. Dear user, if you put yourself in my shoes, and somebody came to you and you don't have anything else to do, you don't work, the whole day is yours, and they ask you to build to build them a version of your distro free of charge, would you do it? I am sure 99.99999% sure that you will say no. You will ask for money. You will ask for money, whatever way. It's gonna end up you asking for money. It's impossible for you to do it for free just for bragging rights. Some people do it for bragging rights because they want to feed their ego. Yay, I'm famous. I can talk to people. I can talk to Nick from the Linux experiment. I get all these, so I'm famous. Yay, that's all they care about. Okay, power to them. But for people, real people who want to make and who don't work and they want to turn their baby into a viable project, they will monetize it one way or the other. So please don't attack. Instead, either contribute or I highly recommend to learn and build it for free. I'm not pushing you to pay. On the contrary,
the Zero team needs more hands.
Yeah, in the video I made about showing how to build the Zero-G ISO, I mention it. I do say you cannot pay for whatever reason, and I respect that. I highly encourage you learn, and you build it yourself. That way you have your hands deep, because I'm sure once you git clone the build environment, you're going to be curious. You're going to open up files, edit files. The nature of mankind is curiosity. So it's in our blood. We're curious. We have to open, dissect, and learn. So you can do that for free. I'm not asking you or forcing you to pay for the project, but if you can contribute not to get the ISO, but contribute for the sake of contribution to help the project survive for a much longer period. The less people contribute, the shorter the lifespan of XeroLinux will be. If I get 0 contributions, I'm calling it here. If by the end of next year I don't get any contributions for XeroLinux, I don't see XeroLinux surviving.
Oh man,
this is out of my hands.
Go back to Ubuntu, Steve. Don't do that to me.
No, but it'll have to die, because I will have to put my time in something that will pay the rent, keep the lights on, and feed that little that big tummy of mine. So unfortunately, the power is in your hands. You want XeroLinux to survive, you have to contribute. That's the only way to keep it. I cannot make it make money. I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try my hand at the merchandising, but how much you get for merchandising? I did my research. I get 10% per t-shirt. If I sell a t-shirt for $30, what's 10% of $30?
$3.
Exactly. I got $3 per t-shirt. It's not like it's going to feed me or pay the rent. So please, people, don't see what I'm doing as a negative thing. Put yourselves in my shoes, and you're going to understand immediately. That's all it takes. That's all I'm going to say about the subject. I don't want to dwell too long on it, but suffice it to say, for now, you want the ISO, you have to contribute one way or the other. You can only donate. You're not forced to join only the $25 tier. You can just donate via the fundraiser. I'll see your name, and you have to fill in your name and information so I know who you are. Don't just donate as anonymous, because there's a lot of anonymous people over there.
Well, no, that's, some people don't want the credit, so.
No, I'm not saying credit. I'm not asking for that to credit them. It's to be able to know who I'm going to send the ISO to.
Valid.
So on the fundraiser, you can just donate once. You don't have to do the recurring thing. I forgot to mention that in the other video, but you can donate once. I will see who you are. I'll send you via DM the link to download the ISO, and the links will only survive for 24 hours, and they will self-destruct after. And it's going to be per individual for now, until I am able to monetize in different other ways. So I am able to keep the GNOME edition as a free ISO to download alongside KDE. And I'm going to say another thing that you're going to hear here first. In 2023, I'll be learning window managers. Which one will end up as the XeroLinux project? I don't know yet, because I haven't begun. But one of them will be either awesome, DWM, or whatever window manager I decide on working on. That one will end up part of the XeroLinux family. Again, at first it's going to be a paid ISO or free build until I get myself, until I figure things out. And then it might be a trilogy of, it'll complete the trilogy of XeroLinux. It's going to be 2 desktop environments and 1 window manager. And that's where I'll call it quits. I won't be able to maintain all 3.
I love that it keeps getting bigger.
It keeps getting bigger, but I need to put a stop at some point. The stop will be 3. And
Steve, you're a tinkerer. You're not going to stop.
A tinkerer for myself, yes, but for the people, no. Because here's my worry. If I put 3 editions out there for everyone to download, I have to support all 3 of them. The distro is only as good as the support behind it.
Right.
So if I cannot provide support for a certain edition, I will. They're gonna fail. So I need
Valid.
to. GNOME, I know much because it's very similar to KDE in a lot of ways. It's a desktop environment. There's nothing much to. I just know extensions and how extensions work, and everything else is similar to KDE. But when it comes to window manager, this is a whole other ballgame. This is a completely other
Sure,
ballgame
sure.
because of the configuration files that go into it. That's going to take me at least 6 months to get into. So don't expect anything soon. But for now, GNOME and KDE, those are the only two that will exist for now until I get situated with the window manager stuff. But
Are you slight topic change? Are you still on the NVIDIA beta drivers? How do you like them?
no, I'm not. They
Because I
have,
think the last time we got together on here,
yeah, I
NVIDIA
mentioned
had just announced the beta drivers.
you don't
They were
check your
over in
messages.
the repos.
You must not check your messages much. I sent you a link to a topic where they released the final versions, which are different.
I did see that. I didn't know if you were continuing to use the beta
No, the
drivers
beta
for
drivers are
VMS5.
old now. The beta drivers are old.
Ah, ah,
Now the beta drivers were 53, no, 525.53 dot something. Now the final version is 525.60.11, and I pushed those as stable on my repository. So
okay.
everybody should have got them by now. All I can say is for my usage they work, but for you it's a different subject. It's a different story.
Yeah.
Sorry, for you it's a different story.
Yeah, I will. I'll probably do one or two more streams, hopefully, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So the NVIDIA drivers are working for me, albeit a little bit. I don't know if it's the NVIDIA drivers or it's the kernel. I don't know what it is. But when I open terminal or open any window, you see this little stutter before it opens. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is. I'm still using the same settings on NVIDIA, so nothing changed.
yeah,
It's just a subtle stutter that I don't get where it's coming from. Uh,
yeah. I've been playing with the KDE compositor and noticing kind of weird things too. I haven't figured out what my ideal settings are, trying to balance performance and how smooth it is.
yeah, which will allow me to transition into something I really, really, really wanted to talk about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Yeah, please do. But I know we're running short on time, but I'd love to hear about it.
it's gonna be very short, like 10 minutes tops, and then we're
Okay.
gonna call it close. But distro reviews. A lot of people recently a lot of people recently mentioned made videos about the subject like DT, Matt, and others. Uh,
Yeah,
how do you feel about it?
reviews are they're a hot topic with reviewers. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. I just wanted to know what you think.
I don't I don't think that a lot of the reviews that I see are fair. And I
Agreed.
don't just mean, even going past you as a distro reviewer, I mean people who are reviewing uh, Mac OS versions, people who are reviewing, Ubuntu releases, Pop OS releases. What they're basically doing is throwing the ISO in a VM, not booting it up on bare metal. They're not, spend 24 hours with it, spend a day with it, spend, a while with it. Don't just, pop up a screencast as you're booting it for the first time, comment on how pretty it is, and call that a review. That's not a
Yeah,
review.
that's uh, that's where it falls apart for me. It's why in a VM.
Like, dig around, talk about what doesn't work. Maybe
Yeah,
you had
sure.
to,
This
maybe
will
you had to
serve.
search for
This will serve as constructive criticism for the developer and the maintainer of the distro.
yeah. If something
Anything.
sucks, if a driver's broken, tell us. Tell
Yeah.
people. If If it didn't work on your hardware, talk about that. If it,
Become
if
the
you
user.
installed it on,
Become the
yeah,
user. Because here's my issue. How am I going to fix XeroLinux, for example, as a maintainer? If,
mhm.
for example, reviewers, I cannot see users because a lot of users, very few users encounter an issue and report it on my Discord or my forums. They just encounter an issue, call it a day. Encounter the issues, distro hop to another distro that works better, and call it a day. But the types of ways of that I can hear about the issues is reviewers installing it on bare metal, encountering the issues. I would watch the review, see the reviewer encountering the issues, and address them quickly. But if you do it on a VM, nothing is going to go wrong. That's number one.
I don't know if that's not true. And when you say a VM, do you mean just VirtualBox? Are you talking
Yeah,
about
VirtualBox or KVM.
VMware?
KVM.
Are we going as far as to include, say,
No boxes.
Hyper-V, Proxmox?
No, Proxmox I never dealt
Because I
with.
guess hypervisors like Proxmox, I guess, are going to be outside of what most people would think of as a VM, but I think of them in the same family. Your QEMU, your help me here. There are other ones too.
There's KVM. There's no boxes.
Sure, and I think all of those, depending on how you look at it, you could almost consider it as a VM. It's virtualization. It's different forms of virtualization, but it's still not the same as bare metal.
Exactly. So the thing is, they're rarely going to encounter issues, and the issues they're going to encounter, they're VM related. Like I encountered issues with the GNOME edition of XeroLinux where there's an issue with Mutter and Mesa, the current Mesa version. If you try to boot the ISO with the regular option and try to install, Calamaris is going to hang. But if you select the no mode set where Mesa will not be loaded, of course you can install without issue. And you can boot afterwards and enjoy. There will be a few glitches here and there, but it's all due to the Mesa driver and Mutter. There was a patch applied by one of the contributors to Mesa. He fixed it, but it's not upstreamed yet. It's just a patch that he gave us, the maintainers, to use. But on bare metal, there's no issue. It's only if you try to install it in a VM. So this is isolated to a VM. So no need to fix it. This is so so unimportant that we will not look into it. What we care about is bare metal because this is where the majority of the people are going to use their the distro. So if reviewers would take the time to, there's those trays that you put in a 5 1/4 base on in your desktop, which allows you to put multiple hot swap drives. You can put in an SSD, install XeroLinux, test it out, review it, and talk about the issues you might encounter on bare metal. And then once you're done, you eject that SSD, put in your main SSD back, and boot into your own OS and continue using it.
Tech is crazy now.
Yeah,
I
have those.
The I/O speeds that we have now and the portability we have now make it so much easier.
I have those. I have one of those, and when I want to put a release out, before I put it out for the people to use, I install it bare metal on one of my spare SSDs. I hot swap. I remove my main OS. People will be surprised that I'm still using the July version of XeroLinux. I don't flash every version that I come out with because I'm the maintainer. I know how to convert whatever version to the latest version. But I just swap the drives, install the ISO that I'm going to put out, make sure it's going to work on my hardware, and put it out. I cannot decide that it will that if it works on my hardware, that means it's going to work on everybody's hardware. I cannot generalize because of the multitude of configurations out there.
Sure.
If it works on my hardware, to me, that means it works on people who have similar hardware. People with different hardware, like laptops and so on, can download it, encounter the issues, report them, and I will help them wherever I can. But if I don't have a laptop, by the way, I'm soon going to have one.
Good. This is good.
A free one. My brother is going to give me his old Razer laptop from 2016.
There's a part of me, I'm not going to lie, I want to say this before I head off. I've got meetings and things I have to get to.
But
there's a small, slightly sadistic part of me that hopes it's an Optimus laptop. Just a little bit.
Well, it's not. It's a Razer.
Oh no.
It's a Razer. I don't know if it is. It's Razer with Intel and NVIDIA. I don't know if it's Optimus or not, because Optimus is Asus, I think.
No, Optimus is just what they call the hybrid graphics. You are going to be in a hybrid graphics situation.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, that's why I'm happy. I'm not happy because I'm going to gain a laptop. I'm happy because XeroLinux will gain a laptop. It will put me directly in the hybrid user's shoes, where I can troubleshoot and know how to get hybrid graphics working. And this laptop has the 980M, I think, as a NVIDIA.
So it'll help with legacy support then, because 980's been legacied for a while, right?
No, wait, no, 900 series and up is the latest driver. They're
going to be the first to be cut then on the next drop.
Maybe, but even though, if it does, that's good for me, because I will then be able to encounter the issues that other users will be encountering.
Yep.
Therefore, I will be fixing them. I'll figure out how to provide support for those users. So cool. XeroLinux will be gaining a laptop, not me. XeroLinux will. So
all right.
I'm so stoked on that, but it's not before April, end of April. But still.
Oh, my dog joined us for about a second.
I can't see that because you have been frozen for the past 5 minutes, but I'm leaving it because a picture is better than none.
Okay. Here we go. So you can't see me?
I can see you, but you're frozen. But you're frozen.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you're not. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. We have dog action.
Hey-yo. What you called him?
Her name is Lita.
Lita. Oh, yeah, like a little Lita. Yeah, I said it last time.
And she's got a Skull and Crossbones Christmas sweater.
Oh, you reminded me of my Christmas sweater. It's a Darth Vader Christmas sweater.
Nice. All right.
But
I had a lot of fun, but I do have to go.
All right.
It's been fun.
Before you go,
next week.
Before you go, I know you didn't have time to use a lot of tools. I'm just going to mention to the users my 3 little thingies of the week.
Oh, sure, we can do that.
They're unconventional. They're GNOME extensions. Because I've been using GNOME for the past month. It's not an extension per se. It's called Gradience. I'm showing the users on the video.
You and your eye candy. Thank you. Thank you.
But what Gradience does, it has been updated. It fixed a lot of issues lately. It allows you to do apply overrides, since libadwaita doesn't allow you to theme too much. But this allows you to apply overrides. And so far, it's getting better and better and better with each release. If you want to use it, it will be included on the XeroLinux GNOME edition. Just find it in the application tray. But yeah, it allows you to apply color profiles. My second one is a GNOME extension called Custom Accent Colors, because GNOME, when you use a theme, for example, let's say some themes like Leyen haven't been updated to GTK4. So as a result, you're going to end up with I'm showing it. You see all these. You see all these volume slider colors. Since Leyen wasn't updated to GTK4, they're going to be libadwaita blue. whatever, even if you applied Layen theme and the Layen workaround, it's still gonna be blue. To get the purple of Layen, you have to use something called custom accent colors. It detects the color scheme you're using, and it will apply them to all your sliders, your knobs, your on-off switches, and everything.
It's really cool.
It's a really cool extension, very simple. And the last one is Alur's Widgets, which is an amazing collection of. It replaces the quick settings with a much better designed one. And you have a dashboard, which I'm showing the users right now. You'll see it in the once the video will be up. But it has a lot of how do you say toggles, toggle to reboot, to restart,
Ton of options.
Yeah, a ton of options, and it will show the whatever video or music you're playing, plus social media links, your memory you're using, the temperature of your CPU, and stuff like that. Those are the three things that I wanted to mention that I've been using for the past month while working on GNOME Edition. They were and they provide a lot of flexibility. It makes GNOME much more usable. But yeah, that's it for the week. And you didn't have time, I don't think.
Oh no, I've been very, very much on my computer using.
What are your three things?
Let's see. If I had to pick the top three things I was using on my computer right now for this week, I was using Okular.
Oh yeah, the PDF reader, right?
Yeah, I was using Okular to view, edit, and save PDFs because currently, we're trying to save the house right now. So it's been a lot of back and forth with, attorneys and what have you. So working on PDFs with that, talking to people here in town about what's going on. So everything is PDFs. After Okular, I've been using Ark a lot to just zip everything up because
It's an amazing
sending
tool,
20, 30 PDFs at a time.
Yeah.
And the compression Ark has is very good.
Yeah,
You can really, really crank it up and it seems to work in most places.
Yeah, and
then,
it's better than WinRAR. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I've been using just plain old KWrite for a lot of my note taking.
KWrite is the simpler version of Kate. It's just does what it does.
I didn't need anything heavy while I'm doing, fundraiser calls. While I'm doing, just conference calls, work meetings, and things. And it's a lot lighter on resources than something like Open Office or LibreOffice.
Or Kate, even Kate can be sometimes resource hungry.
Just I would use it where you'd use Windows Notepad.
Yeah,
just a plain place to type stuff and save it.
That's what I use. That's what I use. And to close things off, I'd like to remind people of your fundraiser as every week.
Well, thank you. I did update it.
I noticed.
It's been updated. The goal went up because things got worse, and our unofficial deadline is tomorrow.
Yeah,
our official deadline is 3 p.m. Eastern time on Monday, and so I think that anything going into the GoFundMe would probably have to be there by tomorrow, or we wouldn't have it available. Anything else would have to go through our other options like GoFundMe. Then
guys,
Cash App, Venmo. It's beginning to be time sensitive. So the podcast may change a little bit if I'm not around for a bit.
Yeah, we might have another guest, or I'll do some solo episodes from time to time. I'll be talking to myself, and it's like talking to a mirror, but.
Well, then you have a good-looking co-host, don't you?
I'll adapt, but please, guys, if you can help Jesse, please feel free to do so. He's an amazing guy. I haven't met anyone more friendly than him.
Oh, shucks. You're making me blush on stream, Steve.
You're a very warm person to talk to. So
Well, cool.
so
It's always a
please,
pleasure to do this. I hate to fundraise and run, but I do have to go.
one last thing. I'm gonna close up
Yeah.
now. And the Zero Linux fundraiser is still up. We're slowly crawling towards our 900
It's
euro
so good
goal.
to see. It really is.
But some people are from time to time donating. Um, Hopefully, more people would donate. But yeah, it's still there. Links will be always in the description. So if you have spare change, why not donate? And you'll be, if you donate 25 or above, you'll be eligible for all my future projects and discounts and everything I mentioned earlier. With that being said, thank you, Jesse, for
Anytime, Steve. Hopefully, I'll see you next week.
hopefully, fingers crossed, and best of luck with everything. God bless,
I'll keep you posted.
and say hi to Trekkie Melissa for
Oh
me.
yeah. So yeah, I'll leave you with this. She's made a meatloaf convert out of me. In addition to trying out XeroLinux, I've been begging her to make meatloaf almost every day this week because she introduced me to the only meatloaf I've ever liked.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I will tell her you said hi, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care, my friend.
Bye.
People, I say take care, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching.